All right, to close this out for the open mic of the year, the decade, we have Solstice Thom.
What's up? Well, I haven't seen you for so long. I just dedicate this to you because for 10 years of my life at the Scottish Rite Centre, my friends and I dedicated to Wassail, the times when the Christians and the pagans actually danced together in village halls, right? And the people would go around the villages and sing Wassail, asking for bread and soup and love and kindness in a cold world, right? They'd be suppliers of light because this is supposed to be a season of light in the darkness. And solstice is when you go towards a deepening of light. Out of the darkness of despair and depression and winter, you go towards the new world, the 2020. The change of government, the incredible things that we all need. But we find ourselves, of course, assailed by different traditions. Because if you go back to Roman times, you will find it's a time for Saturnalia, where the roles were reversed and the servants would make fun of the masters. And that was a wonderful thing, you know. They would beat them up and knock them around. And that's exactly what we need to do these days. And then, of course, the beautiful, like the tree canopy of Austin, there was a poet, Susan Bright, who had a feminist press called Plainview Press, and she went to the city council and said, I know you want to save Barton Springs, but you don't seem to understand. The springs are in love with the water, and the water is in love with the trees, and they have an alchemical wedding. You cannot save the springs unless you save the trees of Austin. Now, that helped make the historic trees ordinance where 26-inch diameter trees are now saved, but they weren't going to be. They were going to be chopped down so you have the high-rise laminate ACL South by Southwest travesty that pretends it's Austin. But right now, the trees of Austin remind us of Yule. German in origin, Scandinavian as well, where people honoured the trees and by that a metaphor for their ancestors, the roots of the ground that they came from. The beautiful branches of growing in the light of the sun of mortal day. Being a tree in the midst of a world of madness and cars and gridlock. So that's another one. You have Saturnalia, you have Yule, and of course there's so many other festivals of light. When I was in Bradford, they celebrated Deepawali, and it was lights everywhere. It was an absolutely wonderful time. And they'd have food, of course, which is the most nourishing. Thank you so much, Malvern, for the incredible food today and always. But with this, we have to be the light, you see? Because solstice is natural. It's a changing of the cycles. It's a season of being that light in the middle of the darkness. Yule is to acknowledge the trees of the past and the growing of the light of all things. And Saturnalia is to inverse the class structure that oppresses us all. And there are many more festivals, but we haven't got time to mention. But the one I want to share with you is the one, of course, you know from Seinfeld. Welcome to Festivus, the festival for the rest of us.
Hooray. Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome. Perfect ending.
So we just have one more very brief performance that we're going to ask you all to join in to celebrate Amy.
Yeah.
Today is her birthday. We're not going to let her escape.
Exactly.
Happy birthday.
Anybody bring cake?
We got
she brought
cookies,
cookies.
nuts. We have everything but.
Yeah.
All right, so on 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Happy
birthday.